What's up, Ange? How you doing? How you doing? So it was a big fire over the weekend. 29 people displaced, and so Thumbprint stepped up because we're influential and gather all those donations for the family. So we're going to drop it off to the city rep's office today at 12 because that's what we do. Inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Simple, simple. 29. Sorry, not 29 families. 29 people. I apologize. Yeah, that's crazy. And the neighborhood is showing up. Brand new Pumas, brand new sock, brand new everything. Like this is coats, brand new, like boots. It's just this is unbelievable how community is coming together. Like,
Any businesses?
no businesses, but church.
Churches.
You know,
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
church. Yeah, a church showed out. Showed up. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
When you, oh, today at 12.
Yep. Right.
Are they gonna be there too, or just the city reps? Like, are the families?
No, so they're gonna organize it, and I think I'll probably help drop stuff off, but they're gonna put it in bins first.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
And divvy it up, I guess.
yeah, exactly, because we have different sizes, so we put everything in bins to match the size of whatever that particular family needs. But I mean, like I said, the neighborhood been showing out. I think that's the biggest takeaway like from this experience. When you need help, the neighborhood will show up. And again, I mean, men came in here with formula like I don't know what I bought, but I think this is what y'all need. And I think that was just incredible, incredible. It's unbelievable.
Pe- People will shock you.
But yeah, exactly. Since we've been yelling, it's like we're gonna be the most influential company, and man, the stuff that's happening right now that quick. Look at it. This is not what a real
I
estate
know,
broke.
someone was calling me because they were standing outside. They said, it was like, anybody in the office? And I was like, oh, why? Let me get back to you, Vicky. And that's why I called your phone and it didn't answer. And I called Joanna. She was on her way back.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I probably went to go pick up Carter.
They said, I got donations. I'm trying to leave it here. But
Yeah.
it was
Well,
so nice.
no,
And so donations already, you stop collecting donations?
not
It's a time frame or is
not. So it was all week, but obviously I don't want the office to get crazy, so that's why I want to empty it out today. So anything else we get after today, I'll just keep bringing it down. Well, well. Can you close the door? Thanks. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? How you doing? Whitney said good morning, Angie.
Good morning, Grand Rising.
Hey, hey, let's go, let's go. Man, look, we're gonna have to build this YouTube up. I see we're gonna build it up though. I'm happy. Got my, dad mug. Look, definitely, definitely, definitely. Everyone, welcome, welcome. Please share the link with your friends and family. So my friends and I were speaking yesterday, and they said married men don't have good pickup lines. And I'm like, that doesn't make no sense. We're married. What worked then? We're married. You're single. Why? Like I would think we have the best pickup lines because we're married, right? Let me know. Am I wrong to think that way? Am I right? I'm just saying. I thought it was simple. I'm like, all right, well, you know, I must have a good pickup line. What was my pickup line? The line that caught my wife. Oh yeah, I'm looking for a best friend. That was my message to her. Yo, I'm just looking for a best friend. It was smooth. It was smooth. I was just looking for a best friend. Just looking for a best friend. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing about her body. Looking for a best friend. You know what I'm saying? Simple. Simple. Right? Exactly, bro. It's just it was simple. Thank you, Whitney. And we man, Whitney, we have a lot of donations. I mean, we need more, but boy, the city, my community showed out. Real talk. But yeah, real talk. Like it was just looking for a best friend, right? And my other line, Nathan, you got to tell me your line, but my other line, I have two more strong lines. Like so, when if you see a woman you're interested in, you get in their way, and you say, "Oh, you looking for me?" They gonna say no or laugh, whatever. And you say, "Oh, okay. I thought you was looking for someone that's going to hold you down and be honest with you and love you for the rest of your life. But maybe you're not looking for that. Sorry to bother you." Nathan, come on, baby. Come on. Nathan. Nathan, you could use that one, baby. Nathan, you could use that one, baby. That one for you. That one for you, dog. Big dog. That one for you. You can use that one, Nathan. Seriously. You got that one, bro. Trust me. That one's for you. That one's for you. You can use that one. Um, and so my go to now. You always want to make a female laugh. Like if you make a female laugh, you good, right? And any females on here, please judge me. Please judge. Like we judge me is okay. Here it goes. All right. So how you doing? You know, you got a boyfriend? A lot of times when we're like, yeah, I got a boyfriend, I'm like, oh, ironically, that's ironic. Why? Because my girlfriend got one too. Got him. Got him. Yo, Nathan, I'm trying to give you game, Nathan. You use this game responsibly. Use this game responsibly, bro. It will get you in trouble. If you use this game to get a baby mama, I'm like, damn, you used it all wrong, bro. It's supposed to get you a wife. You used it all wrong. All right. So I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run the playback. What's up, Waukesha? How you doing? How you doing? I'm gonna run the playback. All right. I'm gonna run the playback. All right. Here it goes. You know what? How you doing? Say, hi, Alex. Oh, sorry, you don't know my name yet. How you doing? Hi, how are you? Man, I like your energy. Oh, thank you. You have a boyfriend? Yes, I do. I said, man, we definitely got something in common. What you mean? My girlfriend got one too. My girlfriend got a boyfriend too. After that, Nathan, ah! What's up, P? How you doing? P. I mean, after that, Nathan, they gonna start laughing. When they start laughing, got them. Got them. Only if they lying, meaning like they don't have a boyfriend. Because sometimes, women will just say I have a boyfriend because they don't want to be bothered. Because all day, every day, horn hark, like that someone's honking the horn, um, yelling at them, whistling at them. You know what I'm saying? All day they have to deal with this for their entire life, right? So Nathan, you got to come in smooth, bro. Like you don't want to be like you don't want to bother them, right? You don't want to bother them, Nathan. You got to just be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You want to save them from the chaos in the world and how you know men are not showing up for them, right? You gotta take your time. You know what I'm saying? Nathan, you understand? Because I'm giving you some stuff. I just want to make sure Nathan understands. Nathan, do you understand, Nathan? Nathan, are you there, Nathan? Like, what's up, bro? I want to make sure I'm talking. You're the only guy here. I need to talk to you. Now, if you ran off on me, I understand because or you probably ran off and said, "Yo, I'm about to go try this now." Yo, Whitney's hilarious. Bro, thank you. My man Nathan understand. He understands. So Nathan, bro, because again, this is lethal, bro. Bro, it's lethal. I'm putting you on. I can give you my old black book, bro. It's lethal, bro. Right? It's lethal. Yo, and when you talk to a female, don't look away. Don't do this. Do this. Right? And when she goes, what? Got him. Yo, Nathan, like, whew, I'm just looking at our future. But Nathan, you can't be corny with it, right? You can't constantly do it all the time. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be gentle. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You gotta be gentle, bro. Bro. I'm putting you on. I'm putting you on. I'm putting you on. Trust me, bro. You don't approach, don't approach women like, yo, you got a nice body. Like that's kind of whack. Like, cause right away you're thinking about, like, you know what I'm saying, sexual aspect of her, right? Yo, leave that. That's gonna come if she like you. F that. That's not what it's about, right? You want to get into the door, right? You just want to get in the door. You want her to be like, oh, you know what? He's cool, right? That's it. Just like don't push it. Don't try to marry her on the first date. I like your energy. Boom. And say she works at where you work at, right? And you gonna see her every day. Say hello every day. See how you doing. See what kind of coffee she drinks. Like, hey, I got you a coffee. I know this is your favorite. Just be gentle, bro. I'm trying to put you on. So I didn't even I didn't even tell Carter this yet, bro. So you understand what I'm doing? I didn't even tell Carter this. I'm trying to put you on, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Be gentle, bro. Be gentle. Yo, the Kings amongst Kings. I think in February we having the speed dating thing, and we are doing who got the best lines. They said, yo, married men don't have the best lines. I said, man, you bugging. Married men have the best lines because we're married. Duh. Look, it's simple. Look, I'm about to get my man Nathan. Nathan, are you single? Nathan, are you single? What's up? I'm about to figure this out. We about to blow up YouTube with some crazy advice. Everyone, tune in. Oh, Sue, you married, bro? Yo, I never knew you was married. Oh, sure, okay, yo, bro. I apologize. But look, yo, yeah, Nathan, are you married or not, bro? Stop playing with me, bro. P, you with me? So Christian, welcome to the romance show. So
Okay.
we're talking about pickup lines, right? And I'm trying to I didn't know my man Nathan was married, so I thought he was single. So I was trying to give him game about pickup lines and like how to treat a woman. But
Right.
bro, we good. I didn't know we could change the subject, Nathan. We could go straight to marriage. You know what I'm saying? Yo, yo, Pataj, did you know Nathan was married? So they said married men got the worst pickup lines.
Hmm.
And I said, wait a minute. How married men got the worst pickup lines if they married? Something worked. Like, what's going on here? Right?
Yeah.
So I want to say this. Yo, Christian, you're single. Give me a pickup line.
A pickup line. All right, I got one. My name is Christmas. My friends call me Chris. Like, nah, I
Well,
don't. No, your name not Christmas. No, it's not. You silly. No, it's not. I say it is. I promise you, my name is Christmas. Is it? 'Cause Christmas never comes early, and they bust out laughing. I'm just playing. But let's go grab a drink or something. And they be like, "Yo, let's get it." You know what I'm saying? Easy.
so what he said, they bust out laughing.
hmm
I said that before you got on. Once you get them laughing, got
Game
them.
over. Game over. Game over.
Yo,
So here's
but
here's
I
the here,
said this.
but here's the point though. Like people always like, yo, Christian, like is it's a pickup. I say it's not a pickup line. It's like all I'm really putting out there is that I don't take myself too serious and like relax. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about oh I'm trying to flatter you like seriously. You know what I'm saying? It's more of hey like I'm just telling you I'm so comfortable with myself that I can joke with myself. I can embarrass myself. I can say whatever and it's fine. You know what I'm saying? But I think people will say, okay, if he's comfortable with himself, that gives them permission to be comfortable with me too. Feel me? But if you like timid and I don't know, like that's not gonna make nobody confident to stand beside you in the tough times. So let's just chill on the
Yo, you know
good
what?
times.
F
You know
it.
what I'm
F,
saying?
F it. Angie, do you mind coming here for literally for like 2 minutes? Hey, yo, Nathan, you lying? You ain't married. I'm about to put you on. Kaboom.
I got like iced tea real quick.
Huh?
Like,
Oh,
I got
just
iced
just real quick. Do you mind being on camera real quick? Sure. Can you have a seat here? You know what I'm saying? I'm about to show them what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. We both in this. All right, right here. All right, here it goes. So they said married man got the worst pickup line. All right, so
Uh-uh.
all right, so here we go. Here we go. So Christian gonna say his. I'm gonna say mine. All right, go ahead, Christian. You go
But
first. Go ahead, Christian.
wait,
You
y'all
go
want me
first.
to act it out? Like
Yeah,
so you just
go ahead, Christian. Go ahead. Go ahead. You go first.
it worked better in real life, but like
All
so
right, all right.
so
You got her
nah
laughing
nah
already, bro. You got her laughing. You on a roll.
yo, listen. So Angie. So basically, when I go to the bar, I don't tell people my real name because I gotta be private. You know what I'm saying? But I tell them my name is Christmas, but my friends call me Chris. Right?
Christmas?
Christmas, yeah. And it's yeah. See, what I'm saying like, man, it's Christmas, and they don't usually believe me. And I'm like, yo, my name is Christmas, but my friends call me Chris, so you can call me Chris. And they're like, nah, like your name is not Christmas. I say, I promise you, my mom named me Christmas because Christmas never comes early.
All right, cool.
So,
All
so that's it.
right, so imagine you walking, right? Right, you walking, and I get in your way. Hold on, let me make sure. So I get in your way, right? And I go, oh, you said, well, why you in my way? I said, oh, my fault. I thought you was looking for me. And you go, looking for you. Oh yeah, I thought you was looking for someone that's going to love you, that's going to hold you down, and be with you for a lifetime. That's what I was looking for. Am I wrong? That you look in the eye, dog. You see that eye look? You do this. You do this, bro. You look right in the eye, bro.
Yo,
That was you know what I'm saying?
why didn't you just ask if you was gonna marry her?
Huh? What you say?
Why'd you just go ahead and ask her to marry you?
Yo,
Dang,
it was
son,
the
you went.
last
He's like,
part. It was
yo. He said, let's get the date. Let's go ahead and get married right now. That's what Alex just said. He said a lot of words to say marry me. That's what it said. A lot of words to say. It's shorter than if you just say, will you marry me? It's less words. I promise you.
Yo, all right.
Promise
Here
you.
goes.
He just needed to be on
Yo,
one bended
you
knee.
Whitney,
have
I
a
promise you.
husband?
Whitney, I promise you it worked. It just don't work on you.
Watch this. You got a husband?
No.
You say yes, I do.
Oh, you say yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a husband?
Yeah.
Oh, ironically, we got something in common. Cause my wife has a husband too. Boom! Laugh again, dog. Laugh again.
That's actually a good one. That's actually a good one.
That's a good one.
That's actually a good one. That's actually a good one.
That's
That's a good one.
Yo, Andy.
Christmas? That was
Christmas. She said Christmas. I stopped
it's
for a while.
it's like a laugh because I know it's not real, but depending on the energy and vibe, I might just let it slide. So like I'm sure
Yeah.
girls
Yo,
know.
all right, Andy. So that's the point I was making.
We know
right?
you lying.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the thing. It's like people. I think people who use pickup lines seriously are lame. Like, yo, like that's whack. For me, it's a joke. Like I'm just lightening the mood. Like relax.
Correct.
Like I can laugh at myself. Like for instance, honestly, I think the cornier it is, the better off I am because now it's like,
I
oh,
agree.
this dude's stupid. You know what I'm saying? He's so freaking silly. I'll say, nah, I'm just playing. It's like, yo, Christian, you're always joking around, and then they get you tap on the shoulder, you good. But it's like, yo, if I'm sitting there like really trying to spit game at you and we like say something that wild, it's like, bro, relax. You're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the point. The point is like I'm not taking myself serious. I think people who take themselves seriously, it's like,
I
yo,
agree. So, but let me ask you a
chill.
question. So, Angie, let me ask you this though, on a more serious note, because we're talking about how to communicate with women, right?
Mhm.
Then correct me if I'm wrong. I think because it's women get attacked every day. Like when I say attack, verbally attack. Like, oh, what's good, yo? What's good, mom? Brr, brr. All day for the rest of your life.
It's like cat calling.
Yeah, for the rest of your life, it's going to happen, right? I think, and most do you guys get aggravated? Is it aggravating?
Yeah, it's annoying.
Right? It's
Eventually it
annoying?
becomes white noise, but depending on the level and how close the person tries to get,
Yeah.
because some will try to get closer than others. Other people would maybe catcall you from across the street. There are others that might get a little closer to you, might try to even approach you, even might try to get all up in your face. And
People
those are
still do that?
Yeah.
they still do that. When you, yeah.
So
Oh,
with
I'm in a
with,
different
with
world.
that being said, I told Nathan I thought he was single. I apologize, Nathan. I don't want to break up your marriage, but I thought he was single. So I'm like, well, if this person you like that's at your job and you see her come in every single day, you see what kind of coffee she buys, just buy her coffee one day. Like, hey, I see that my name is Nathan, but you have to introduce yourself way before you buy the coffee, right? But I think it's about energy. So I could say, hey, Angie, my name is Alex E. Edwards. I've seen you a couple of times in this building. I just like your energy. You always come in uplifting and honestly, you're very inspiring. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. I'm not gonna ask you out on a date. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna let you know I notice your positive energy, and that's it.
That's a good one.
I agree. Like, I wouldn't say I got game per se, but like honestly, when I approach somebody is I treat them like a human being. I literally just speak. Like the amount of people I've connected with just purely off of saying hello or how was your day or yo, I really like your shoes. Something random. Like it's really nothing like it's nothing crazy. It's just treating like a human being. I met people plenty of time just asking. I'm at a bar, I'm about to order a drink. I said, what'd you order? And then I said, all right, if I get one same thing and it's bad, I'm blaming you. This drink is on you. And they like laugh, ha, this dude's stupid. I said, no, I'm serious. Like if I don't like it, you gotta buy my drink. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
Humor
it's
works
just
very often.
yeah,
It's a trigger to trade.
that's
I
mine. That's mine. I ain't gonna lie.
And
Mine is
Yeah,
We just
humor, but
laughing, chilling. Yeah,
it's a difference between humor and not being scared to speak to strangers.
yeah, yeah. Like
Because
you definitely gotta speak.
what he
Oh yeah,
explained,
just
he
be honest.
comes up and say, "Look, if I don't like this drink, it's on you." Off rip, you're speaking to a stranger. You don't know, nothing about her. So having the confidence to do that is one thing, though. Like
True,
that takes skill to even have the
true.
confidence to speak to a stranger and speak to a beautiful woman and a powerful woman, because a lot of men are scared to even to one speak to women, two speak to a powerful woman. Like
So
men are just frightened.
so here's one thing that I have learned and I realized, like, I have some beautiful friends, I'll say, and I'm like, yo, they be single and chilling like crazy, and I'm like, yo, how's it that you guys? They said people don't approach us, guys don't approach us. I was like, for real, and it's like the beautiful ones are the ones that don't get approached more as often as you think. You know what I'm saying? And then you wonder why like these average Joes be beautiful women. No, because you talk about audacity. They had the courage to try. They had the courage to say, "Hey, I see you. Like my name is Christian. Really nice to meet you." And they don't say nothing else. But the simple fact that they got attention and that they like, you know what I'm saying, like they feel acknowledged in that moment, it gave them a chance. So it's just
Yo,
like, yo,
yo, Biggie had faith.
The best, the best compliments that I've received from people out in the street that have tried to catch my attention, or gentlemen that I've worked with in the past, are the compliments that come from that have nothing to do with my appearance,
right,
right?
right, yep.
Like, how many times have I heard, "Oh, you look beautiful today. You're so pretty. You looking real good, ma." That's a
Oh my
classic.
god.
Yeah, that's young. That's
Oh
young.
yeah, 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 yeah,
That's
yeah.
when they don't, you dealing with a woman that don't have self esteem, or a man that doesn't have self esteem, where you could just compliment them and you think you'll get somewhere. But we're talking about, and of course, all the women in the chat, please speak. Drop a 7 if you like the conversation. But with a grown woman, like I said, you got to talk about um you have to talk about the energy, because you're not going sexual right away. Oh, you have a nice body. Like, grown woman look at you like
Nah,
you
that nah, you gonna
like
sound
that
like a
would make sense.
you look like
But
a
if you
freak
say,
beast
yo,
ASAP.
you're very intelligent. I like how you dealt with that particular situation. Yo, you are an amazing woman. You know what I'm saying? That will go further than, oh, you have a nice ass. Like who's
Oh
doing
nah,
that?
nah. I never go physical. Like I never like comment on that. I mean, you set yourself, especially with this Me Too stuff. Nah, you set yourself up for failure ASAP. We talking about physical period. So for me, I agree. It's just like my point is usually I just want you to feel seen, but like seen from an angle of like I see who you are more
Yeah.
so than like I see you like what you look like, and you know what I'm saying. So it's just things like that more so than like, yeah, I'm not me. That's never, yeah, again, that's never my approach. I'm never gonna say you look beautiful. Nope.
So
You
how
know,
do so Angie, how do, like, if someone know that they will never see you again, right? Like, you meet this female, and
yep.
I'm in the supermarket, and I'm like, yo, this might never happen again. How can we approach you knowing that we just want to see you again?
With that truth. Sometimes the energy is so strong that it could be as simple as a look. You catch their attention, and it's like a look of, "I want to talk to you. I want more," but not in a sexual way, but like, "I want to get to know you." And if you get that look back, that's your entrance, right? Now, if you look and she look at you and she just like, quickly look away, that's don't approach her.
Yeah.
You don't have the audacity.
Yeah. Nah, don't do
Don't
not
have
have
the
the audacity.
audacity.
Don't do not have
Mayday,
the audacity.
mayday, mayday.
Don't have the audacity to come up to me.
Evacuate, evacuate.
Yo, get
Yo,
away
but
from me.
but I think, all right,
And
cool.
honestly, it's just an act of courage. Like, even in, like, there's, without risk, there's no reward. And risk, you might risk a failure as well. But either way, without trying, you won't know. So what's worse, having that thought in the back of your head when you leave that supermarket, like, damn,
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about her, man. I
Yeah.
just the
I'm
way
about to
she
go to Target.
smelled, the way she
I'm about
walked,
to
like, ooh, she was just so
I'm about to go to
captivating.
Target.
I don't know her name. Like, it's
Yeah.
just gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm about to
It's
go to Target
just
today. I'm going to Target today. I just made a decision. I'm going to Target. Yep. I'm going to Target.
it's just taking that bold risk. Cause honestly, even that, right? Even if your approach might need work, but even the fact that you approached her and depending on everything else, that alone could take you very far because like you said, or like your friend said, men are not approaching. Suitable men to suitable women are not approaching. Like there's like a disconnect. They're
Hmm.
not.
That was a
Yeah,
gem drop. Like
that is.
that was a gem drop. That's so
Yeah.
so. And again, any woman that's in the chat and man could answer this. So why aren't they approaching? I think why it is a disconnect because you never. A lot of times, a good woman find a bad man, and a good man find a bad woman. It's just never like often that you find good and good. Why is that?
He who has the audacity, right? I guess I'm because there's okay. When we're speaking of connection, there's also different types of connection that we can make. And oftentimes those toxic couples that we see are often bonded by a trauma bond, right? They bonded on something, on an experience that was so detrimental to them, and that brought them closer. Like, two people meeting at the bar, and the first thing that they talk about is how they lost their mom, right? They both
Mhm.
lost their parent, and that's just what they're talking about. Talking about loss. They're talking about that trauma and how that made them feel, that experience that helped shape them. And they're building on a connection that's not positive.
Yep.
So let me ask you this. Thank you for that. How do we? No. The real question: why do women and men constantly date the wrong person? Like a lot of times this relationship don't work out, and then they date the same person, type of person again, and then they say, "I hate men in Boston." Like, no, you're dating all the wrong men from Boston. Why does that happen?
That happens when a woman has not done any work within herself. When I say that, I mean she has not taken a moment to look at herself in the mirror and really look at who she is, right? Because often who we are, it literally, like, we're like magnets to other people, and depending on what level we're on, we're gonna bring that same kind of vibration. We're gonna bring those same types of people into our life until we recognize the pattern and we snip it at the root, and the root will always be the self. And so if I'm dating someone who's toxic and I break up with them, and then I date someone else and they're just as toxic but the same type, I break up with them, I go out with a third person that just as toxic, break up with them, and I'm like, yo, these dudes suck, man. You're like, why they
Right.
suck so bad? Is
Yeah.
it them that they suck, or is it something that I haven't done yet to, one, create a safe space, two, create boundaries for myself, and three, learn how to police them and safely hold authority over them?
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing I add too is I see the comments like,
Wait,
they're not healed.
before you speak, after you speak, it is honest time with Alex Edwards. Go ahead.
Nah, so you talk about being healed or whatever like that. I guess different perspective. Like I think sometimes we get caught up in this thing. I gotta heal. I gotta heal. I gotta heal. As if like there's some sort of like damage. I guess. But I think sometimes it's really about simple acknowledgement. Because I feel like trauma is probably like your biggest superpower. Why? Because some of those are the moments you learn the most about yourself. So have you taken the time to acknowledge what you've gone through, acknowledge those childish tribulations, acknowledge the strength that you had to even get through those moments? So now you're like, okay, I'm invincible now. Like I've been here, done that, you know what I'm saying? But I think people don't slow down long enough to acknowledge what they've gone through. Cause I think you say tough times create tough people. For example, me, for some reason, I always end up with people who have gone through some shit, right? And I'm like, God dang, yo, it sounds like a Lifetime movie, right? But it's like, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I pray to God that I want my woman to have some level of resilience and strength to her. But a guy like, well, I mean, in order for you to get that, she gonna have to go through something to get to you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, bet I feel you through that. So I think that a lot of it is that acknowledgement and being willing to self assess. You know, but yeah, that's I
That's
think that's a
shadow
big
work.
one. Yeah,
That's shadow work, which takes looking at yourself. It takes reflection, deep reflection,
hmm
and it takes learning how to live with those traumas. Because if we want to be real, every single person has a type of trauma.
yeah,
Every
for sure.
single person.
Yep.
We all have something to work on. And it's not negative. Like, not all traumas are like this destroying, like break you down. Like, once you have it, you're like this dirty, negative person. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that a trauma bond is just not healthy because you guys are connecting on something that, yes, does make you stronger, but it doesn't define you.
Yeah, there's a
It's
book.
not who you are.
So you probably read the
So
book, but there's a book that I want to share real quick before I forget because I
real,
just forgot
real,
it.
real
Yo, hold
quick,
on, hold
real
on a
quick.
second. I'm gonna
God,
forget it. I'm gonna forget it again,
it's
bro.
Alex, your honest time. You had a time, and you had
All
time.
right,
It's
I'm gonna
Alex's turn. It's Alex's
remind me.
turn.
Hey guys in the bottom, remind me to remind you of a book because I just forgot it 3 times because Alex kept on interjecting. Yo,
You
hey
gotta
Alex,
type
go
it in the
ahead,
chat.
go
All
ahead.
right, you could chat. You could type it in the chat. First of all, everyone that's watching, thank you for joining us on YouTube. I know this is the second week on YouTube, but it makes sense. And make sure you share. Make sure you like. Please, please, please. We want to take this to another level. So again, share the link on your page. Share it everywhere. Like it. Please, please, please share. That's how you could. Um, pay us back with this from this good information you're getting. Anyways, all right. So when I was younger, so no disrespect, Latinas, right? Uh, so I dated a few, right? And both the two in particular was when they got mad, right? And one in particular, well, two of them. Like I remember when I was in high school, like this woman had a dream that I was cheating. And so she got up before school started, and walked 3 miles to my home.
Oh my.
Right? I want to be honest, I was cheating. So it was crazy that she walked. Right? Again, this was old Alex, dumb Alex, douchebag Alex. Right? Everything above a bad guy. And well, not bad guy. Guy just didn't know his worth. And so boom, she shows up. I'm like, yo, how did she have that dream? That's crazy. And she's right. And so that one situation, another situation is the other female used to show up at my house and wait outside. And we was not together, but it was like, yo, this is crazy. I'll be honest. When I stopped dating them, I started missing them. I don't know why I started missing them though. The I don't want to say crazy, but like the things that they did that wasn't healthy, right? And I noticed at a young age I was unhealthy. Like why was I loved it. Like maybe it was the attention, or maybe it was just like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yo, Jackie, she was from English High. She was from English High. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Latinas at English High, they had a dream about you was the truth, right? But I missed it. I missed the arguing. It was crazy where you sit back and like, damn, why do you miss it? But when you in it, you're like, oh my God, I can't take this. I want to be out of this situation. But when it was gone, I missed it. So it proved that I was unhealthy. I was unhealthy. Like it was crazy to I'm just being honest. And I don't know if any men or any women feel the same way where they was in a relationship that was toxic and when it was gone, it was like, I'm bored. Like I want to go argue with this person again, or I want this person to show up at my house and show that this person, cares for me. You know what I'm saying? but it was unhealthy.
Ugh. Those are tough.
Do y'all think Alex has a need for attention?
First of all, that was young Alex, and the need for attention. I'll
Is
tell you
it?
the truth.
Is
No,
it?
you're right because I went to therapy. No, you're right though. I went to therapy, right?
Yep.
And what we realized is, my father leaving me really took a toll on me. Just
Mm.
real
That's what I
talk.
was just gonna say.
I'm just being honest. It really took a toll on me where I needed that attention. But then I found the attention within myself, and that's where it was game over. That's when I went this way. When I put a band in my head and start clapping for myself and showing up
Right.
like I am that person because
Right.
it is what it is. This is who I believe I am. You have to tell me I'm not. So
Right.
you are 100% right. 100% right.
Yeah.
It's our
Nah.
it's our relationship with our parents that can shape every other relationship,
It is
platonic
the thing that
and non-platonic.
it is like it's. I didn't. I'm not saying I just subscribe and believe it, but it's like as I'm like gotten older and going through relationships, I'm like, dang, like it does have a lot to do with my relationship with my mom or relationship or with my dad and things like that. Like for example, um, okay, vulnerable moment, sharing my trauma. Here we go. So mine was so my dad wasn't involved in my life, like from rip. Like my parents got separated before I was even born, right? So he was. It was not like my dad was there and then left. It was just he was never. You know what I'm saying? He was just never there. So as I grew up, it wasn't like I knew anything different. So really, I never thought of that as like it really affected me like that. But I mean, I would go to his house every now and then. It was never like a consistent thing, but it got to a period of time as I got older, the time period in which I would interact with him got longer and longer, where I would go years sometimes without seeing or interacting with him. So once I got to the age where I started playing sports and like being aware of stuff, like the biggest thing I felt like was I wasn't worth the effort to try to like see me or like, want to hang out with me or whatever like that. So I made a decision when I was like 8 years old. I was like, yo, I'm gonna do everything I can so that nobody can never ignore me. Right. So my desire for high achievement has always been, yo, you abandon me, you gonna read about me in the newspaper. You abandon me, you gonna see me on the news. You abandon me, you gonna see me standing on stage accepting an award. You abandon me, like it was just like it was a worth thing. Like I was out to prove myself. Like, yo, I'm worth it. Like, yo, you gonna regret the day you abandoned me. I got you, right? And that was my fire for years. AB honor roll all the time. Captain of the football team all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that I could possibly achieve, I was going after it and I was getting it. You know what I'm saying? But it was just it was a trauma response. It was a response of not necessarily because I had a desire to do it. It was out to prove something external to rather than just like my heart. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I'm going like, yo, I'm gonna, put your foot on your neck and don't let up. That was me all the way through grade school. So really, I would say high school graduation. My mom asked me, it's like, yo, did you did you know your dad came to your graduation? I said, nah, I didn't see him. I didn't know. Like he didn't say, hey, congratulations. He didn't text me say I'm coming. Nothing. I just found out through my mom that he was there. I said, all right, cool. So I reached out to my dad. I was like, yo, like, do you mind like we meet up? Because I want to have a conversation. And I know over the years that I always knew my mom's side of the story. That's another part of the thing that's important too. Like a lot of times when we grow up in one of the parents' households, we only hear one side of the story. Therefore, you kind of not say become jaded, but you have a very one-sided perspective of what happened and what went on, right? So I was like, no, let me. So we went to a park like right down the street from my house and invited my sister. We sat down at a picnic table, literally, and I was like, asking him, I'm like, yo, like what happened? Like I always heard my mom tell the story, like what happened. He told me whatever like that, and just from listening to him, I realized me and him are a lot alike. I'm like, yo, me and him are very similar, just out of I guess genetics or something. But then I told him, I'm like, you know what? I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it, right? I said, but I'm gonna tell you how it affected me, right? I always felt like, despite me, because of your relationship with my mom, I wasn't worth the fight. So everything in me was, yo, if I'm not worth the fight, what am I worth? So everything about me was proving my worth and everything I do. And I ain't gonna lie, it hurt my feelings. It affected me all these years. You get what I'm saying? But the thing that that I kind of realized about that situation is that when I walked away from the picnic table, we hugged it out, and we kind of came to an understanding. I realized I kind of lost my fire. Like I didn't have that chip on my shoulder. I didn't have that aggression that I always had all these years to like really, really try to go at high level, and that to this day, it still affects my relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just I still kind of have those moments where I'm like, yo, I gotta get it. Like if you don't see me, you're gonna hear me. If you don't hear me, you're gonna smell me. If you don't smell me, you're gonna feel me because I'm around. You know what I'm saying? Like that's me. You know what I'm saying? That's why, it comes from trauma, but I know why I'm like premium only. You know what I'm saying? Don't downgrade the effort, don't downgrade the vision, upgrade the effort. That's why I moved that way. Cause I'm like, yo, listen, you not going like I'm out here to prove myself. But now let's bring it down to relationships, as we mentioned before. I've learned that there's a difference between transactional love and unconditional love. So when it comes to I've learned that like the way I move and how I've grown up has always been transactional love, meaning I'm loved based on what I do, right? So it's a transaction. I do this, therefore now I deserve the love. It's a tit for tat type of relationship. When in reality, is that really true? What about your surroundings says that you are only loved because of what you can do for people rather than just who you are and just your existence and your being, right? Just because you are Christian or just because you are Alex, not because you got money, not because you got good grades, not because you are uber, no, just because you just a good person. I like being around you. I like your energy. I like your vibe. But then unconditional love of it is no, you're loved because of who you are. You're being, not doing, it's being. So when I'm in relationships, I always kind of get into things where it's like, nah, I'm not gonna date her because I'm not worth it. Like I haven't hit my pinnacle of success. Therefore, I'm not deserving of any love that she could possibly give me. And I've heard multiple women tell me, like, Christian, like, you keep putting this in your head, like, it's because of something you know. I just like you. Like, I just like being around you. You're a good person. Like, you make me feel good. Like, it just is. But in my mind, I'm trying to like get out of that like transactional mode of thinking. When in reality, it's just like, yo, like if you just sit still long enough and just allow someone to love you. That's why I asked the question last week. Do you think love is a choice? I think there is a point where you have to be. I don't think who you choose and the relationship dynamic is a choice, but I think you have to make the decision to be receptive and receive whatever love, because otherwise you're gonna be blind to it. Somebody be trying to love you and you're just gonna not gonna be able to see it because you haven't taken the time to acknowledge yourself and be willing to see, oh, okay. It's kind of like best analogy I can kind of give is like with Alex. Like it's almost like opportunities hidden in plain sight. If you don't know how to find a real estate deal and find the opportunity around you, you're never going to see the money and the equity and the opportunities around you because you haven't been taught how to see it. But once you see it, once you've been taught to see it, you're like, yo, I've been seeing deals, I've been driving past deals every day and didn't know it. So same thing with love. It's like once you decide and you learn those things, now it's like, oh dang, like love been around me all the time, but I just was so blind to it, and I haven't really been taught how to. I haven't really been taught what love looked like. I haven't really been taught to really receive it in a healthy way. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of like what my journey's been, and that's kind of what the journey I'm going through right now. Like, okay, I gotta figure this thing out.
Mm.
That was a lot. That
No,
was a lot
yeah, I
of
bet that was
gems in there.
yeah. I think
Good
that
comments in the chat. We had Whitney who said, oh, you were overcompensating, trying to cover one wound with another.
Yeah.
A
Yep.
trauma
And then
achievement.
yeah, and then it just reminded me because I just did write it down. The book,
Book?
the book, the
you said
book.
all of that. You spoke for an hour. You didn't mention the book. You're right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza.
Oh
And
yeah.
in that book, he mentions emotional addictions, and basically was saying that we all have emotional addictions. We're all addicted to the emotions. Like you're addicted to arguing. You're addicted to the past trauma, even if it's negative. You think, oh, I don't like that feeling, that you're going to try to run away from it. No, in the reality, there's some sort of pleasure in the pain, I guess. So what they talk about is, and the best way they kind of describe it is, you know, like you choose a song and the song reminds you of their past relationship, or reminds you when you went through that breakup, or reminds you when you were with your parents and you were driving to your family reunion. Like there's songs that remind of past experiences.
Mhm.
That's an example of emotional addictions, because now you keep listening to that song because you want to take yourself back to that moment, whether it's positive or negative. You know what I'm saying? It's a
I,
reminiscing type of
I,
dynamic.
I want to say
That's
something.
why I avoid songs. I haven't listened to a song for years because of a
Oh, I'm
particular
saying
reason.
the same thing.
Like, but
I can't
this is
listen.
like the songs I've dedicated. Remember we were dedicating
Yeah.
songs to people? You know what I'm saying? Giving out
Yeah.
CDs and mixtapes and what have you.
Yeah.
I was
I
silly
can't listen to.
dedicating songs that I love. Now I can't listen to them anymore because without thinking of that person. Now I don't think or feel anything when I hear them, right? I only have pieces of the memories of those feelings, right? I don't feel anything for them anymore. I don't have
Yeah.
Man, I would
those same passionate feelings that
I
I
will
had. I
say.
only have the memory of
wait,
them.
wait. Before you talk for 2 hours, hold on. I got you. I'm joking. Um, real quick though, because you just remind me something. I don't want to forget this. So we had a conversation a couple of, I think 2 weeks ago, and I told everybody I will call my wife. I'll call my father, right? And I'm not calling him for him. I'm calling just for me, and I'm not expecting anything from him. I'm just calling.
Mhm.
So I did keep that promise. I did call my father, and it was funny because my sister picked up and she was like, "Who's this?" And I'm like, "Well, you don't know my voice?" She's like, "I think it's Alex, but I know he would never call." That's what my sister said. She's like, I know, I think it's Alex, but yeah, I know he would never call. So yeah, I kind of don't know who this is." And I'm like, all right, well, it's Alex. She was like, wait a minute. And so when she said it's Alex, my father goes, who? Who? Alex? Which Alex? Right? So it's your son. No, put him on speakerphone. Prove it. And so I'm like, yep, it's me. And I never been a disrespectful person. So I never said, hey, Lesroy. I always say, hey, dad. Since day one, I've never been disrespectful. If I'm not gonna call you dad, I'm not gonna say anything to you. That's just I'm not going to disrespect anyone, right? So I said, "What's up, Dad?" And so we had a full blown conversation, and I really asked him. I wanted to ask him how he fell off, right? Because he was a phenomenal businessman, and just wanted to ask him how he fell off, And so in that conversation, he told me that he was going to fix some cars and stuff like that, and his logic to drive so far to get some parts was kind of I didn't understand it. So I was like, "Yo, why don't you just get your own shop?" And he was just giving me pushback, and I was like, "You know what? Let me not push too hard. I really want to ask a question, but maybe it's not the time." But we still
Right.
had a great conversation, right? This is the part where one I don't feel comfortable, right? He goes, he want to say I love you at the end, and I'm like, you do like it. So I'm not gonna say it back because I just don't feel like we're there yet, right? And I think I want to take it slow. You know what I'm saying? I want to take it slow. Let's get to know each other. And we haven't spoken in 20 years. Like, like, come on, like, let's
Yeah.
take
Yep.
it
Yep.
slow. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to tell the group that I kept my word, and we all need to improve. And I did pick up the phone first. I did call him first. And then he called on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? He called and said, "Hey, what's going on? I wanted to talk to you on Thanksgiving. I want to talk to the grandkids on Thanksgiving." So I just wanted to share that because I know we're very honest on these lives. And if I don't show that I'm growing in front of you, then you shouldn't be listening to me. I'm full of crap. So I just wanted
Right.
to share that.
So, question. So when he said I love you,
You know,
did you
What you
say did you
say?
say
I
did you say
click.
thank you? You said thank
No,
you?
I say click.
Oh.
Yo, I'd be like, yo, I see you later. Yo, I love you. Click. That's what I do.
I thought you was like, thank you.
Thank you.
Yo,
I appreciate it. All right, bye.
yo,
I
yo.
mean, that works too. It's not. I feel like I love yous is something that it's the stereotype is when I say I love you, you have to say it back. And if you don't
Yeah.
say it back, I wasted my time, or I shouldn't have said I love you, or I should have waited, or all these thoughts instead of just acceptance. And acceptance in that you should love someone because you want to love them, not because you want them to love you back. Period.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Transactional love, yo, you gotta love me back. I ain't gonna lie.
Period.
That joint
No,
don't bother
I,
me.
no.
yeah, I agree. I don't think I think I could love someone before they love me.
Correct.
Like
Yeah, I
I
agree.
agree with you. I agree with you. 'Cause-
I don't think that we have to be on the same love plane
yeah.
in order for the relationship to work. I think I should be able to feel safe enough to say I love you whenever that feels most comfortable, most natural to me. And then you say whatever feels, you say thank you. You could even say nothing, right? Depending on the energy. Like if you obviously walk out of the room and try avoidance, that's not gonna work. But just like looking and smiling and a hand on the shoulder or on the,
That's
you know,
yeah,
So let me
y'all,
ask you this, since we got Angie here, she's live, she's with us. Shout out, drop a 7 for Angie. I want to get a little bit personal because I want to figure out the communication between women and men. I
Mhm.
think we still don't communicate well. Right? And I want to speak for men. Men, we don't know how to speak to anyone, not even women. I think we don't even know how to speak to each other. We speak to each other violently, aggressively, and we always everything's a threat to us, right? And that's I think and men, y'all could say I'm lying or whatever, or that's not the truth. And then when you ask us to express our feelings, it's like, whoa, that's a different language. Help, right? How do we express? What is the best way, right, to express our feelings to women, especially the women we love?
it's the best way to express your feelings is to not let them control you when you want to share them. So, for example, if something happens and my husband does something to upset me, I'm not gonna react, right? Although that would be the easiest thing, right?
Mhm.
My trauma instinct to do is to react because he attacked me or something within me felt attacked by whatever it is that he did. And now my trauma self, whatever age I was when I first felt that feeling, is going to come back up to try and protect me. And I'm going to react. But I have to stop and think and instead respond, right? I don't want to talk to my husband from the point of passionate emotion. I want to speak from a sense of clarity, not logic.
Okay.
Not logic either, because I feel like logic and emotion, they float side by side, but I don't think they cross paths,
Okay.
right? Because they're different. Emotions come from an emotional place, and logic comes from one of fact and science and what have you. So neither one is wrong, or neither one is better than the other. It's just different. And when you're speaking to men, I feel like men are more logical creatures, especially men who came from environments that didn't provide them with safe spaces to properly feel their emotions, such as the famous Caribbean households that shunned little boys for crying, shunned them for being too overly excited. They shunned them for stepping outside of the box that they created for their children, not the box that actually exists. And when men don't have that space to learn what their feelings are, of course, anything they feel, they're just gonna like throw it at the wall like cavemen. It's just gonna be like, rah! And it's just gonna be so abrasive, and it's gonna be so rough, and it's not gonna be tender. And tender is what we want. As a woman, I want tenderness. I want you to
explain?
speak to me. I want you to speak to me with kindness, even when you're upset. I don't, I'm not the enemy. Even when I do something to upset you, I'm not your enemy. So I don't want to be treated like one. I don't want to be spoken to like I'm some stranger on the street. I want tenderness from my partner. Especially because if I do something wrong, that's a time when I need it most. right? What if, say your wife didn't cook for a day or whatever, like, you notice she didn't cook for the day, and you come home and you're like, Joanna, you didn't cook me breakfast today. You didn't cook me lunch. You didn't cook me dinner. Yo, what's up? Why you didn't cook me no dinner? I need the dinner at home all the time. The food, I need it ready. And you just you just lash out on her instead of coming home, noticing that no food was made for you all day, and being like, hey, baby, you know, I I noticed that, you know, there wasn't no food made today, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so I noticed that that's unusual for you. You do a very good job at feeding us and feeding me and making the food for me that I love. And I just wanted to check in on you and see if everything's okay. See if there's anything that happened that, I just wanted to check in on you. Is everything okay? Checking in on her before even assuming that she neglected you or that she disrespected you, like before assuming the worst, checking in on that person and being tender with them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with 100. I agree with that 100%. Rewording everything,
Reword.
like reword everything. You'll get everything you want if you reword it. You get everything you want. Oh, I love your cooking. You gonna cook next week? Oh, I can't wait.
Mhm.
Oh, sweetheart, I just love you as a person,
Mm.
and I don't want nothing. You just setting yourself up to get something later. You don't want nothing right now, But nah, just rewording is very important. And I think you brought up a real good point. How many of us been in relationships where when we get in an argument, it sounds like a street fight? This sounds like a what is going on? Like is that swearing at each other, yelling at each other, calling each other names, disrespecting each other? How many of us been in that kind of relationship? Drop a seven if you've been in that kind of relationship,
I
right?
haven't.
And right,
I haven't.
and then drop. I want you to drop a three if you're still in that relationship.
Mm.
Okay, I want to drop a three if you're still in that relationship, and you could look safe space. I think we always honest here, right? I think it's I think we need to work on how we speak to each other because if you could disrespect that person and then turn around and say I love that person with all my heart or I trust that person with my life, it's like, huh, okay, well, huh, right? I think it's important for you to understand that you need to control your temper even when you're mad, especially with the person that's willing to go to war with you and for you, right? So I think you made a good point. It's like, yo, you're mad, someone died in your family, you lost your job, still speak to me with kindness because the only
Yeah.
thing I could do is help you, right? I'm not your enemy. And then the biggest part, I think, I'm not your enemy. I'm not your
Right.
enemy. I think that's the biggest men, including Alexi Edwards, men, listen to what she said. I'm not your enemy. At men, like I wish my brothers, cousins was on this right now because to be frank, you know, their wives, my wife said that to me, their wives say that to them. So to hear Angie say, hey, ironically we West Indian, but to hear Angie say that, I'm like, yo, it must be something in the air because this is not the first time me hearing that. So I think that's important. Don't miss that part. I'm not your enemy. I'm not your enemy. And
Yeah.
females, to be frank, I'm not your enemy. Right? It happened on both sides of the coin. I'm not your enemy. So I think that's important. When you're mad, when you're upset, when you're arguing, I'm not your enemy, and never go too far. Never go too far
Mhm.
where saying something that you could never take back and you're hurt that you can't take
Yeah.
back because some things I don't care if you said sorry,
Mhm.
y'all made up, y'all made make y'all had made up sex, that those words hurt.
It's a stain.
It's a stain because especially if they was vulnerable with you and you use it against them in an argument. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they will always look at you, and it would never change. So I think it's very important what you said. I am not your enemy.
No, I agree. I mean, one thing Andy said was, you got. We're really talking about communication, right? And like, it's funny because I think with men and women is like we're both we are typically being held to contracts that we've never either seen nor signed, right?
Or when
So
oil is
I'm holding.
trained on, oil is trained at
Uh-huh.
that. We wasn't trained to accept this contract that's and accept everything in the contract. No one
Yeah,
taught us.
but what I'm saying is, you don't even know the contract exists. I'm holding
Yep.
you like, yo, you ain't cook for me, da 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 da. But I never said, right? This is an expectation. I never said, hey, I love when you cook for me, blah blah, blah, or set the expectation like this is what I need, or this is what I desire. This is what makes me feel good. This, because sometimes it's not even just about like communication on like a disagreement. Sometimes just having a moment to say, hey, this is I like this. You know what I'm saying? I think constantly we're playing this game where no, I need you to guess what I like. And I'm like, yo, I'm not playing that game. If you just tell me, like I can deliver on it. So I think men I mean more men. I'll say this because I from experience. I'm like we have to become professional mind readers. Like, listen, I gotta know before it happened. I gotta know what you like. No, babe, like, what do you like? Just tell me. Like, cause now it gives me the opportunity to make you happy and whatever like that. But I think the same thing happens on the other side of it, where we also gotta say what we like. You get what I'm saying? So that's one thing I think when we talk about the communication and bridging that gap, I think it's really important.
And we
Um,
don't do it. We
we
don't
don't
do it.
do it. We don't
We
do
don't
that.
do it enough.
Right, and I set that precedent pretty early when I'm talking to people, and just in talking phase. I'm like, listen, this is just what it is. And this topic is really important to me because, like, I feel like I grew up in an environment where there was a lot of tension and a lot of arguments when it comes to like men and women. Like, it just never, you know what I'm saying? So I don't like arguing. So I tell them all the time, like, yo, I'm never gonna disrespect you. All I'm asking you is we come to an understanding. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm gonna ask you when I'm explaining myself, I need you to try to at least try to understand where I'm coming from, and I'm gonna give you the same respect. But I'm never gonna disrespect you because we're on the same team. You know what I'm saying? So if we're arguing, if you're trying to argue to be right, I'm not participating. But we're trying to argue to come to a resolution, to come to an understanding. That's a totally different thing because that's a cooperative conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, F that, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Absolutely not. But one thing I knew when it comes to communication, I think men and women speak different languages too. So it's funny because this is exercise. I don't know, Alex or somebody told me about this one. No, one of my guys down in Florida told me. It was like there's an exercise where if you feel triggered by your partner when they say something, you basically have to say out loud what you heard versus how you felt, right? Here, okay, example.
Yeah.
What you said was take the trash out. What I heard was you ain't been doing nothing all goddamn day. You a lazy piece of shit. You need to take the trash out. And then what it does is it helps people understand the language and the interpretation because there's interpretation and there's intention. And when those two things are in line, it's called disagreement. So a lot of times we just misinterpret and we just missing like you said that, but I heard something different.
But
And you know?
I also think this is one thing, and I'm standing on this. Sometimes when people say something to us, we hear what we feel about ourselves.
Mhm.
What we feel about ourselves. So if someone was like, "Yo," like you said, take out the trash, and you be like, "Yo, you trying to say I don't do nothing?" Because you already thinking you don't do enough. You already thinking like, "Damn, she might think I don't do anything," and you just want her to say it. But if you already have that thought, go do something, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of times, and I'm not saying you, but there's a lot of times we already have these thoughts about ourselves. So when someone says something, it triggers. It's like you just relit a flame that's in you. Oh, there you go. I hear something in my head. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of men, again, when it comes to men, I think it's important. Hey, this is how I want to be loved. This is how I want to be supported. This is how I want you to be. This is how I want you to show up for me. It's
Yeah.
a lot of people call me sensitive, emotional, and all that. Yes, I am. But I also know how I want to be treated. So I'm going to talk about it. So you can say, yeah, that's emotional. He had cancer. But guess what? I'd rather talk about how I'm treated before I go get a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before I
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
get a
Yeah.
gun, before I leave my family, I want to talk about how I'm being treated because it could avoid all of that. Because all we want to do is react violently. Because violence is easier than, yo, man, this is how I want to be loved. Because if you say that, oh, man, you're weak. Nah, honestly, that's your strength to explain your feelings and, yo, this is how I want to be loved. And that's that. You know what I'm
Yeah. And I
saying?
think.
And what's interesting is that you said talking phase, right? And I feel like that's part of the communication and the lack thereof is that sometimes people stop talking to each other, right? Oftentimes couples stop dating each other. They stop courting one another. They think just because they either married or they got a baby or because they live together, they got it in the bag. They don't got to do nothing else. So they don't maintain that garden, which is their relationship.
Yep.
All they do is check in and say, "Hey, how was your day? And what you doing tomorrow?" That's to
Yeah.
the largest extent of some people's relationships, monotony
Mm.
and routine that doesn't involve cultivating connection and deepening their intimacy with each other, right? Then oh, with technology, right? Now now you have two couples or two people on their phones. Now they're consuming information. Now even they are changing right in front of each other, and they're not even talking about the things that they're consuming either. So like then that's how a lot of people like uh go on different paths, or we're just not the same anymore. People stop talking to each other and they stop dating and they don't recognize the other person.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And also as women, we tend to notice more things about our partner. So like I know my husband's habits. I know them. Like I know what's within his norm and I know what's not. And so I know what he likes, I know what he doesn't like. I make it a point to know these things because I like knowing these things. And so there is a selfish part of me that wishes he would do the same, right? That wishes that he would exemplify what I do, which is I want him to learn my routine, my habits. I want him to know what's within my norm, what's not within my norm, but without me telling him. But I can't do that because what I do, I'm me. I'm Andrew Belize and he's Edgar. He's never going to think the way I think, look at something the way I look at something, speak the way I speak. He just get it out of my head. So whatever I do in my relationship is because I want to. And if I want him to do the same, I have to share that. And if I share that and he doesn't do it, then we have another conversation. But I have to be honest with myself and with my first about what I want in order to be honest with my partner.
Yeah.
Yep, relationship
And
become
you
robots.
say.
Everything's programmed. Like they're just doing the
Oh,
same. They just
that's
working, coming home, working,
yo.
tend to the kids, go to sleep. Like just they
I
don't do
think
nothing with
Yeah.
each other. They don't play games with each other. They don't color with each other. They don't even read a book together.
Yeah, I think this is a good conversation. I can't lie because I'm I already improved myself. Well, I'm about to make a rule now, and no phones in the bed. That's a wrap. No phones, and you can't be on the phone in the bed. I'm going to talk to my wife and be like, look, we change this now. No phones. You can't be mad at me, but you on your phone and laying next to me, like talking to somebody else. Like what? You talking to someone else in the bed and you mad at your husband, like, or vice versa. That's not happening anymore. So that's a real good one. And program like what Patash said, relationships become robots. Everything is programmed. Look, I agree 100%, and we don't even know it though. We wake up one day and like because it's like even this week, this last 2 weeks been hard for me because I'm like I'm doing the same thing over and over. Wake up, take the kids to school. 2:30, pick up Carter, drop them off here. Go back to the office. I don't have a lot of time. Got to get this done. Go home. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. Get the kids ready for bed. Read them a book. Deal with them. Get in the bed. do it all over again. It's like, yo, what the, yo, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta change this routine or something because this is not healthy. This can't be my life for the rest of my life. Like somebody else gotta take these kids to school. But no, just being and we need to do this more. And I'm happy my wife and I do this. We need to put each other on a schedule. Like you really like you we all have schedule, but the people we love is not on our schedule. Only appointments, meetings, and stuff like that. But why won't you just say, you know what? I'm gonna put my best friend on my schedule because I want to hang with my best friend. I'm gonna put my wife on my schedule because I want to go on a date with my wife. I don't care if it's in the middle of the day. I'm gonna put her on my schedule. We need to just take advantage of our schedule. Stop saying we don't have time for something. No, you don't have time for things that's not on your schedule. But you do have time for things that are on your schedule. That's why you put them on your schedule. So we just need to put our loved ones on our schedule and people that that means something to us, just on our schedule.
Because routine is supposed to be a good thing, but what happens if there's none? If there's no routine?
I mean, I mean, I never met someone without a routine. They doing something every day. Either brushing their teeth, washing their butt. It's a routine there. But I think if you say no routine with the person you're with, or when yeah, please explain, P.
But also like routine, like it should be routine to want to connect with your partner.
That's what I'm saying.
Even if it's for 20 minutes on your busiest day, right? There should
Yeah.
be some kind of solo time between you. You should have solo time for yourself. The first person you should put on your schedule is yourself, whether it's a time for meditation, time for decompression, time for whatever, time for you to sit on the toilet for 30 minutes, whatever that time that you like to do, it has to be just for you. And then you want to also incorporate partner time. So that should be on everyone's schedule. I feel like that should be part of your routine is you
Yeah.
and then your relationship.
Yep. So
Yeah.
drop a three. I want to drop a three if you are not on your schedule or you don't put the people you love on your schedule. Drop a three, right?
So
Erase that. Erase that. Drop a seven if you're gonna put yourself on your schedule. Drop a seven if you're gonna start putting the people you love on your schedule. So it could be routine to love them out loud, to be with them, to laugh with them, to smile with them, no matter what.
yeah, I mean, I love this conversation too because one thing that I subscribe to, and this is like how I actually do stuff, is it's called like living on purpose, right? Like putting intention behind what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you're intentional about how you live your life and how you mold your life, you can create the life that you ultimately want. Like, you want to have a very loving relationship, you can create that. Like, what does that look like for you? And I think a lot of times we haven't even sat down long enough to say, hey, what is the life look like? And I think sometimes it's, and my cousin brought it to my attention. He's like, sometimes when you write that list, it's not the what, meaning like, oh, I want to have a certain amount of dollars, or I want to have a certain particular house, or have a certain lifestyle. Simply, sometimes it's simply, how do I want to feel, right? How do you want to feel when you wake up in the morning? How do you want to feel when you're going about your day? How do you want to feel when you're going to bed at night? What does that feel like for you? Because then if you figure out how you want to feel, then you kind of reverse engineer and walk into what is required to get to that feeling. You get what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times we kind of get in this robotic thing because, one, that's the only thing we know. We find comfort in that, right? But are we taking life as is presented to us, or are we saying, hey, no, I'm going to intentionally create the thing that I want? Like when you watch the movie Forrest Gump, he's like, he's a feather in the wind, right? Life is just happening to him, and whatever happened, he just gets lucky, right? But it's like, no, let's not be a feather in the wind. Let's say, hey, I'm gonna march to the beat of my drum, and this is the tune that I'm gonna move to. You know what I'm saying? So like, you really talk about journaling, take inventory, like, yo, what do I like? Well, how do I want to feel? What does the things look like? And then say, okay, does my life align to that? And if not, what can I do to start creating those routines as we're talking about right now to manifest or create those things into reality. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really, really important. Another thing I want to throw out there too is, we talk about Alex being sensitive. Yo, I'll be honest. I remember when I forget one time Alex called me and he said, "Yo, this really hurt my feelings." Right? I ain't never heard a grown ass man call me and tell me I hurt they hurt I hurt their feelings. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. Like he called me, he's like, "Yo, dog, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. Like it really hurt my feelings when I don't even remember what it was, but it really hurt my feelings when you did this, this, and this." And I'm like, hurt your feelings, bro. Get over it. That's what I'm thinking about here. I'm like, I'm going to that masculine energy. Like, yo, this dude just picked up his phone and told me I hurt his feelings. He don't take that somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But when I got off the phone, I had to really reflect on it, right? And that was you talk about core memories. That was a really pivotal moment for me because I learned something from that moment. Where I was wondering about myself, but it's just like, hold on a second. You're right. We talk about how men need to communicate with each other. We right. We don't take a moment and say, like, we always have these surface level conversations. We talk about sports, we laugh about stuff, we talk about women, we talk about all these stuff, but we never get down to the root of what's going on with ourselves. Like, I have a group chat with 10 of my friends from college. I just found out half their birthdays yesterday. I'm like, yo, I already know y'all birthday is. And they were like, how do y'all not know that? And women don't understand that, but that's just the dynamic of how men naturally move. But you have to create intention to get to the root of things. That's not something that's going to accidentally happen. Like, yo, you good? Like, how's life? So when I had that interaction with Alex, it was like, dang, like, he's right. Like, we should be able to say, hey, you hurt my feelings. Hey, I love you. Hey, I really appreciated it when, yo, it really makes me feel good when you reach out. Yo, I really don't like the fact that we don't talk that often. Stuff like that. Like, that was a moment for me. And talking about the emotions and cancer, I learned something from a cancer. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Leo. I move with my heart, pride and ego. But with him, I was like, all right, I can make that adjustment. So I just want to share that with you guys when we talk
I
about feelings and
appreciate that.
emotions.
I want to be honest too, but for those that know me when I was younger, when I was Scraps, like that Scraps wasn't doing that. He was violent. That's the point. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's you hurt my feelings, I'm about to react. Right?
Yeah.
My brother did 10 years because he didn't say, "Hey, this hurts me." Emotional. He did 10 years in prison because he didn't know how to say, "This hurt my feelings." Like
Yeah.
I am not kidding you. 10 years because he couldn't express how he feels.
Hmm.
10 years of his life. And he did 4 years before. So I'm just on the longer bit. 10 years, bro.
Well,
10, like really think about this is men. This is men. Because they don't know how to express how they feel. They go to violence. They
and,
go
and,
to
and,
violence, bro. And it's
and one
scary.
and one thing I'll
Because
add
just
to
like
that
that,
too. One thing
add
I'll add
that
to
with
that
some
too.
liquor, game over.
And one thing I add to that too is we talk about that habit of like suppression, right? Like, oh, don't cry, don't have emotions, whatever like that, right? And I think a lot of that is just also a buildup. It's an energy buildup. Like I believe in energy. Like you're just building up energy over time, and eventually you're gonna hit your max, and the thing's gonna explode. So you talking about like violently reacting? I think that's also a reflection of the amount of energy we collect on a regular basis, and then we blow up on our wife, and then the reaction isn't congruent to the action. Like, wait, why are you blowing up over this? But it's like, it's what they don't realize is that that's just a buildup of just suppression. And now, because I wasn't able to decompress and express my feelings and get it out there into the ether and release it from my body, now I'm doing violent things and it's resulting to physical or whatever it is. It's like you said. So I think also it's like let's not wait to allow those things to get to those points. No, express the feelings as they are coming so that you can feel at peace and be at ease. So I think that's kind of like I think that's how it manifests itself. I'm
Yeah.
like
And
that too. Shoot.
yeah,
I'm
so
like
I
that too.
learned. So one other thing I learned: you never hear me argue. You will never in your life hear me argue. Like when I say argue, me and James don't argue. We debate. That's a good time. It's never violent, right?
Right.
You would never
Yep.
hear me violently argue with anyone. It would never
Same.
happen
I'm
because
the same way.
I know what could happen, right? We're gonna regret something, right? So I'm like, nope. I remember this guy was like, I don't care if you have a gun on you, though. I'll beat your ass. I said, okay. And I kept it moving because he's upset, bro. Like something's wrong. It's not me. It's him. It has nothing to do with Alex Edwards. He also said, "Yo, you think you all that? Boom, that's all you. I bet. Cool. I'm gonna leave you alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave you alone because that don't have nothing to do. Whatever you're dealing with has nothing to do with Alex Edwards, right? You just want to release something on someone, right? Just like my bro. My brother tomorrow is going to tell his story at Kings Amongst Kings at Chase Bank at 6 o'clock. He's going to tell his story. What happened? Why did he get so mad? Why did he feel like he had to stab someone almost 20 times? Because he was upset. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, guys, we have a communication problem. We have a communication problem. And if we don't solve it now, you're going to be in trouble. And that's why the system know we have a communication problem. It's not a secret. That's why they take advantage of us. Like, and parents, you can't sit there and be like, yo, you can't cry. Don't let nobody do this to you. They gonna take that and say, oh, okay. My mama said, my papa said, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to react violently. Wealthy people don't do that. People that own prisons, they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell your kid, hey, this is how I want you to act. Then on the same breath, I want you to be wealthy. I want you to do that. You gotta pick one. You should teach your chip. This is how you react, and this is how you act in any situation. You never change. You never let someone else get you mad. You never let someone else get you tempered. No, you don't. No one should ever control a person. If you want to teach your children that, teach them that. How to always stay in control of themselves. That's what you should be teaching children. Not the other things. No, express how you feel. When your boss speaks to you, express how you feel. When your friends speak to you, express how you feel. When the president speaks to you, express how you feel. Be strong all the time. Be yourself all the time. Don't ever lose control of who you are. That's important. Because again, 10 years. Again, that's he been in jail for 14 years of his life. For 14 years, he didn't see his child born. Like, and to be honest with you, I went and seen his child born for him. It's because he couldn't say how he felt. And I don't want to tell his story. He's gonna tell his own story, but we really gotta think about that. We really gotta think about that. We have to be so disciplined where no one could affect us. I'm not gonna break the law. I'm not gonna attack you. Nah, you good. Yeah. Whatever you want, you're not going to control me. You're not gonna get in my mind. You're not gonna try to break me because you're broken. And you don't know how to get fixed, and you upset because I'm fixed. But you want me to be broken with you so you can have someone else broken with you. And a lot of times, broken people just want someone else to be broken with them. You come on. A person that's broken, do they call people that's positive, or they call other broken people? They be like, right? They don't be like,
Misery loves company.
yo. A lot of my family and friends won't call me because they're like, nah, he too positive. I need someone to tell me to do something, like, yo, be ratchet or something. Alex is gonna be like, yo, why? This doesn't. He's going to speak logic, and then I'm going to understand it, and then I'm not going to want to be bad again. So I'm not going to call Alex. I want to call someone that's going to throw gas on my fire.
It's like that when you're upset, you listen to music that like keeps you like heated. You like you listen to hard music when you want to get in the mood. You play music that kind of gets you in the mood. So it's kind of like that same thing.
Yeah. It's all BS. And we need to understand. The faster we need to understand it, like the faster we understand it, the faster we could help our children. We can help our future. Because man, we're getting upset for nonsense. Someone look at you, yo, I'm about to go get the rap. Like what? For God gave that man eyes. Wait a minute, hold on. He might like your shoes.
It was a dirty look.
It was a dirty look.
He was disrespected.
Yes, I'm like, yo, you understand sign language? Teach me. Like, how you know what that man is thinking? Right?
And even if he's thinking you a piece of shit, you really want to go away for 10 years because he thinks you're a piece of shit?
No, man. I love this conversation. I'm passionate about this conversation, but because we need to communicate better, and it's so easy. We don't need to argue. The fact that someone say, "Oh, it needs to be sometimes it need to be argued," it never needs to be arguments. That's a lie. That's a lie. Like no, you don't ever have to argue.
That's your
Now,
toxic self.
exactly, you could debate, you could disagree, but you don't ever have to yell at somebody. You
Yeah.
never have to change who you are. That's a lie. Like you could have a great relationship. Don't let these. Oh no, relationships need ups and downs. Yo, doesn't need ups. Only ups and downs if your health. Oh well, your health was declining, but that's not even an up and down. That's you're still alive. That's still an up. You're still up. See what I'm saying? You're still up. That's not even a decline. So when people, I don't agree with these coaches or these people talking about relationships need this and that. Nah, we don't need to argue. We don't need to swear at each other. We don't need to disrespect each other. That's a lie. That's a
Yeah,
lie.
but I think I wouldn't say you need to argue, but I would say I embrace the disagreement because I think that's when we learn the most about one another because now we're really, really, truly being expressive in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, it's not me against you. It's just like, yeah, we're having a disagreement, but now I'm really learning about that. So for instance, like, even when I date, I was like, listen, like, I'm not going to make any major decisions until we have our first argument, essentially.
And
Why?
I
Because now that allows me to better understand how you deal with disagreement, how you deal with tough situations. Do you like shy away or do you lean in? I need to understand those things because that's important. Because at the end of the day, we gonna be in the trenches together. I need to know if you gonna take off running, I'm gonna be by myself, or you gonna lean in. It's like, yo, we about to do this. Yo, I guess we about to do this. You know what I'm saying? So those are really important moments. And as long as it's healthy communication, let's come into an understanding. You better understand how I think, and I can better understand how you think. Now we're more powerful because now when we play on a basketball court, it's like, oh, okay, I know what his instincts are. I know he's going to do this if I do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that same dynamic. So like I
That's
kind
a
of embrace it.
discussion.
Man,
Yeah.
that's a
So I
That's a
I'm talking
discussion.
about
It's
violently.
not an argument.
Yeah.
Like
well
there's
well
debates, there's discussions,
Yeah.
there's disagreements, but
yeah.
none of those are arguments.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, and I'm saying that so you guys understand the nature of how the dynamic of the discussion, rather than just like, hey, we just talking. No, I didn't like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I say that because again, I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, disrespect. I'm never gonna call you by the name. I can't even. On my life, I can't even tell you like if I've ever like called a woman outside her name, B word, whatever. That's not how I move. So like, if you're gonna get to the disrespect level, I'm not participating. Like, it takes two people to argue. You're gonna be by yourself.
It's just one exercise my wife and I learned, right? So once a week, once a month, whatever you want to do, you say you wake up, you get out of the bed, you sit on the couch, you hold each other's hands, you look in each other's eyes, and you say, "All right, so this week I didn't like when you did whatever you did. When you did this, I didn't like it, right?" And you holding hands, and you express how you feel, right? And then the other person goes, "Okay, so I heard on Tuesday you didn't like when I said such and such, such and such." All right. And then that person goes, "Well, I am sorry. This is what I was thinking." All right. And then the next person go, "Hey, well, on Thursday, I didn't like when this happened. I wish you would just do this." Okay. I go, "I heard this is what you said on Thursday. You didn't like when I did this. All right. And this is what I'll do moving forward." So we hold hands. And then after that, you give each other a kiss and move on. That's it. Like
I got
it's,
some. I got some work to
yep.
do because hearing that made me uncomfortable. I don't know why. It's just like
Yeah.
I got some work to
Because
do.
you know why? It's one holding hands, looking each other eyes, and telling the truth. That's uncomfortable. Like I'm about to tell
Yeah,
you why.
Touching the
Yeah,
person
I mean, that's not that.
who you might feel a sense of attack from,
yeah.
right?
That's a
It's
lot
just it's a
uncomfortable.
vulnerability issue.
But
I know me. I
but
know.
that's what a lot of therapists recommend for couples to do, especially during disagreements, is to touch.
Yep.
Regardless of how you touch. It doesn't have to be a handheld. It could be a neon, but there has to be some kind of physical touch when you guys are having that
It's the white flag.
discussion, that disagreement. It's a reminder to the body that there's no need to put your defenses up.
It's a white
Good.
flag. It's like I come in peace. I come in peace. I
Okay.
come. I want to argue. I come in peace. I just come to understand.
I can
That's it.
subscribe to that. I can
Yeah, you
subscribe
know
to
what I'm
that.
saying. And it's bro. It's powerful. It's when I say it's powerful. It's powerful. We need to do it more, but it's powerful.
And like it's even powerful to do between family members.
Oh.
But a lot of us who come from Caribbean households, we don't express physical affection with our family members. So a
Oh.
lot of us
I
aren't
did not
even
grow up.
touching hands with our moms. We're not hugging our sisters, hugging our brothers. We find that weird. Some of us might even be a little uncomfortable, right? A little arm on the shoulder for little bro over there. There's no physical touch in families. So that's another part of what makes it so hard for us to do it in our relationships.
I did not. I tell you this. I did not grow up in a hugging family. Did not. I
Yo.
learned that. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be honest. I didn't learn that until I got to Boston when I was hanging out with you guys and y'all like hug. I'm like, yo, everybody hugging. Like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I guess I get hugged. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I learned like that's the thing. But then I learned. You talk about love languages. I mean, I learned that I actually do value physical touch more than I realized I did, just because I've just been deprived of it all this
Yeah.
time, right? So that's the one thing that I've learned about myself. I'm like, no, so my love language have changed in the past like 3 or 4 years. Like, nah, I do like physical, but it's just never been that thing. Like, even this concept of saying I love you, I didn't grow up in a household with like, yo, I love you so, like,
Yo.
nah, like it was understood, like, yo, what's understood gotta be explained, but I don't walk around saying I never was loved. I just knew, like, I know who got me. I know, but now when I'm interacting with people, like, I love you. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So these are all things you're talking about, like just trauma and just growing. I don't like the word trauma, but I'll say it, in a positive way. But like you go through these things of learning what you need, and sometimes like and it kind of resonates with the conversation Al said last week around like you are trying to live a certain way because you think it's what you want, but in reality, what you want is not really what you need because you just never realized the need for it, So that's kind of like been my journey of like understanding that. I'm like, nah, I actually do like hugs, and then I do like when
Yeah.
you say I love you. Like, yeah, thank you. Like,
I started saying I love you to my family, and it was so weird. Like they treat me like I treat my father. Click.
it be like, yo, shut it
and
down.
then what happened was they start saying it back, right? And then they started saying it to each other.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And so my sisters, they've been together forever. I say my brother-in-law. So my brother-in-law comes from a different, like no disrespect to him. I believe he comes from like the gangster life, I remember when I first said I love you to him, it was the weirdest thing. I know he was like what language is he speaking, right? Because he's like, no one ever said I love you to him, right? Probably to him, right? But then they started saying I love you to each other, right? It was so cool. I remember like it was yesterday when I heard them talking, and when they leave, I love you, right? And then Joanna's family, I came into Joanna's family, and they wasn't saying I love you either. And until I said, I love you, I love you, I love you. And it was like, damn, wait a minute, this is weird. But guess what? They start saying I love you to each other. And they start hugging each other. Right. And it takes one person to change a family. Like this, like you could be your family change. Your family might not know they need Christian to say to start, I love you. Yo, I hug you. Yo, you mean everything to me. Yo, you're the best. They don't know until you say it. They're like, wait a minute. I was missing this all this time in my entire life, and I love it. I want this to always happen now. I want
Yeah,
Christian to always hug me. I want Christian to always say I love you. I want Christian to always give me compliments. I want Christian to do this. And guess what? Not only Christian, but I want the man I find for life. I want them to be like my brother. I want them to be like my son, because my
Yep.
son just exposed me to a love that I want. That I want my man, my future man, to love me. If he ain't loving me like my brother, I don't want no parts. My brother start opening doors for me. Nah, hell no. This is what I want. This is what I deserve. That's how you change everything, bro. That's how you
Nah,
change everything. I
I
promise you.
You set the
I
new normal.
promise you, bro.
You
you said
set
it
the
in
new
Norman.
standard, the new premium only.
Yo, premium only. Nah, so yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, you might make me cry, but like, I no, I feel you, and I'm reflecting a little bit where it's like there are even small things beyond the "I love you" or like hugging thing that I've done that kind of transfer. You talking about like the contagious, right? You know, there's certain contagion when it comes to certain behaviors and certain things because you're saying it's okay for you to do it. So by me doing it, it's saying I'm welcoming the activity, I'm welcoming the action, I'm welcoming. Okay, like so I can't hug them, right? So it's like if I initiate it, it's almost like that. It's almost like everybody's waiting for permission to a degree, right? So you kind of created that welcoming environment, which is cool, and I agree with it a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make a commitment to myself. I'm saying it on live to say I love you more often. I'm gonna make a point to hug people more often. I'm gonna make a point to do that because you add that on to parenting. You know, we talk about understanding emotions. We're talking about communication. A lot of times, there's a lot of generational things we talk about. I know people talk about like generational wealth and generational trauma and all these certain things, but a lot of it stems from you. Let's peel back the layers and get to the root, or even get to a clear solution. It's like you can't teach a kid how to effectively communicate if you don't know how to effectively communicate. You can't teach a kid how to cope with emotions if you don't know how to cope with emotions. Like you can't teach what you don't know. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of times as adults, we don't realize, but our kid is our mirror. Like, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, it's like, okay, how do I need to develop and how do I need to become better so that I can teach that to the next person or my family? It don't gotta be next generation, it can be your own generation. My sister, my brother, my mother, my father, my uncles and cousins, you know what I'm saying? That also is relevant. So I think, as we have this conversation, I think there's so much value in that just so that it helps people elevate their thinking, elevate their understanding because this is the conversation that I think changes the trajectory and changes the traditions and changes the generation trajectory just because dang, like I never thought about that. Because I think one of the most important things is learning how to cope with emotions, self-control, right? A lot of times we just don't know how to cope, right? It's not about suppression, it's about understanding the emotion. I'm not telling you not to be sad, but understand like why are you sad? Right? Why are you upset? Why did that make you angry? That's first step. And now you can respond to it better rather than being reactionary to things. I think there's a difference between to understanding and making decisions and having self-control versus being reactive. Like you just kind of like a ticking time bomb. No. Understand it, it's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the beauty of relationships. When I know myself where I know I need a partner, because even just listening to Angie, I'm not even dating Angie, but when I talk to Angie and talk to someone of the opposite sex, it helps me better understand the emotional side of things and dealing with the things that I'm just naturally not good at. Not that I can't get there, but they have that superpower of helping us understand the nurturing aspect of being kind to ourselves. And that's why I acknowledge Angie. That's why I appreciate talking to you because whenever I talk to you, I always lead a conversation feeling like, dang, like I need to be more kind to myself. Even if you don't say that, it's just always that seems to be your theme, and you're just very peaceful. So I acknowledge you and say I appreciate and I love everything you do when it comes to your conversation in your mind. So I'm being expressive right now and say, yo, I love you and I appreciate you too.
Oh.
Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I love when you share yourself with me. I do not take those conversations lightly at all, and we're overdue for another one. So
Yep.
I appreciate and I value our friendship.
Yo, y'all,
Oh.
y'all in the comments, y'all feel what I'm saying? You guys see the energy of Angie,
Yeah.
right? I
So
know
I was
Angie,
gonna
y'all
ask.
know it was in the clan.
So
Angie brings
I
that
want to ask
energy.
everyone everyone that's listening. Can you? Is there something you feel like you're missing in your relationship from maybe your relationship with your family, friends, or your love or your significant other? Is there like something you wish? Do you wish they said they love you every time you left there? um, um, every time you leave, or a hug, or hey, you look great, or a compliment? Is there something you feel like you're missing that you just want to happen?
Or like, wanting your parents to call to check in on you
Yeah,
without wanting any favors.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yo, that's important. Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah. Now,
Like my mom just to check on me, just ask me how I'm feeling.
Yo, you
Ooh,
good? Wait, that's all you wanted? Dang, I'm about to cry, yo. Yeah,
right?
I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah. So I definitely want to hear from you all as well. Like we're having this conversation about communication because I think we gave you a lot of jewels where you could communicate better now, right? And like Christian said, we talking about generational wealth, but let's talk about generational love too, right? Generational love. Like I love the fact when I had Callie, before I had Callie, I'm like, oh, I want to open the doors for my wife. But my wife sometimes would be like, and she's out the car. I'm like, yo, I want to open the door for you. And so I was like, F it. She don't want me to do it. And so when I had Callie, I'm like, man, I have to do it. So I had a conversation again. Joanna, you have to let me open the door for you, please. Because Callie needs to see this, right? Callie needs to see this, right? I want to open the door for you. Please slow your butt down. Let me just open the door for you. And so,
I love it.
God, this,
I
this is
love it.
real.
we be on go.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm like, golly.
God,
So
yo, babe.
yeah,
Yeah.
calm down. So what happened now Carter's opening the door for Callie and opening the door for his mom, right? And so we as people we have to understand the little ones they looking at us.
A
Actions speak
mirror.
louder than words. Stop telling them what to do. Show them what to do. Like get out your
Same
mind and you think you could always tell them to do something and not show them. That's
same
just
thing,
for the
same thing with
birds.
y'all working out. Same thing when y'all were working out. I remember you were showing a video
Yeah.
when you was working out. Carter started doing his thing too.
Yep.
It's a mirror. It's
Yeah.
important.
So I knew I'm like, all right, so I have to train myself to become the man that I want Callie to bring home. Like that's a fact. That's not a secret. I have a responsibility to be Callie's number one guy, right? To say, okay,
Set the bar,
to
right?
set the bar. That's my responsibility. Like whatever I do, I now have to think like, damn, this might affect my daughter's future. Just be if I yell, if I do this, if I do that, if I slack off, this will affect Callie's future. Because I'm her hero when it comes to a man. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very important to understand that as parents, that yeah, you want to date this guy, but if you have kids, just understand this guy you're dating, the kid sees this. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you yell you're broke, but you have a beautiful vehicle and you dress nice, your kids will say, whoa, I want to be broke too. I think it's
Yeah,
cool
I
to be
hate
broke.
that. Yep.
I'm like,
Words
man,
matter.
my dad look good and they broke. Oh man, I can't wait. When I grow up, teacher, I want to be broke. That's who I want to be when I grow up, right? We need to understand that. We need to understand that. So a lot of actions we're doing, pay attention to our actions because our kids is like, oh, let me write that down. I'm gonna do that when I grow up. You smoking cigarettes and I don't want you to do this when you grow up. What?
Yo,
They are going to do exactly that. You know what I'm
yeah, and I
saying?
think, and to your point, I think it goes both ways. Not even just what you do; it's also your words. Words matter, man. Words matter. Like broke and all the other words matter. Even something like I love. So all that, it all matters. It all matters. So I agree with you 100% because you just brought up something where you're talking about like, oh, broke. I'm like, dang, you know what? Vocabulary. Like, what words do you use on a daily basis?
Yep.
You
And some
know,
people use it even as a crutch. Like
Yeah.
some people use the phrase "I'm broke" as like a what they mean to say, I don't feel like doing anything else.
Well, I don't want to give you money.
Or
yeah.
I don't want to be uncomfortable, right? I'm okay with being uncomfortably comfortable. What I mean by that is like they're uncomfortable because they got bills to pay and they're just barely making it, but they're comfortable within that uncomfortable situation because it's what they know and it's what they're used to, it's what they're familiar with. When really like broke is a mindset and it when you change your mind, your world changes.
Yeah.
So like when you stop considering yourself as a victim, you'll start seeing yourself as a warrior, right? And you'll keep conquering through. But for as long as you keep like, oh, I'm broke, like that's it. That's it for me. There's no hope. It's done. It's over. There's nothing I can do. It's without of my control. When you say I'm broke, that's what I hear.
I social distance from those people, so I don't. It's contagious. I don't want to be around that. I feel
Yeah.
you.
So before we end this, again, drop a 7 if you enjoyed today's discussion. We are going to do the 5 minute speed round. Yeah. We are going to do it on dating tips, communication tips, and on good line tips. All right. So we're gonna take 5 minutes and we're gonna go around and we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep going for 5 minutes. Sounds like a plan, Angie. Sounds like a plan, Christian.
So
Yeah, I got to
we
process my
just
thought
do
for a second.
tips.
Man, I'm ready for this cipher.
Huh? So
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna do quick tips, right? You're gonna do your tip, Christian, me, then we're gonna keep going for 5 minutes. Just hitting out tips, gems. We're gonna drop gems on dating, communicating, and pickup lines. Those are the 3 things we're gonna talk about: dating, communicating, and pickup line.
My pickup lines are whack.
Yeah, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I gave y'all all I got earlier, so.
Yeah.
That's it for him.
So mine might be corny, but this is the part here where we're just gonna give you all we got. All right, Chris, you ready?
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Uh, see her, acknowledge her. Right. I think one thing that I've learned in my relationship, like especially with those ambitious ones, I know you relate to. You go all the time, and you never slow down and smell the roses. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes we gotta slow down and say, you know what, like you look nice. Small things like, hey, I noticed you did this. I think acknowledgement is like the key to a lot of it, and I think especially men. You know, talk about Angie said it earlier. I wish she would recognize my patterns. Slow down long enough to recognize those patterns.
Okay. All right. So I would say this: understand before you react. Understand what they are saying and understand they're not attacking before you react. Because if you react before you understand, you might make an ass out of yourself.
That's a fact. Treat your partner in the very same way that you want your child to be treated.
Ooh.
Mm. Ooh. All right. Um. You talking about like wanting to meet a person, like you at the bar or whatever, like that. Treat her like she's human. Just simply say hello. Sometimes a hello goes a long way. It's not about having the right words. Sometimes you don't have to have all the right answers. Sometimes by having the right question. Ask her a question. I
All
think a lot of
right.
times we go through life thinking that we have to have all the answers. No, if you have the right questions, it's going to lead you to the right answer.
Yep. Marry the woman you want your daughter to be and become the man you want your daughter to bring home.
Mm.
That's gonna be on a t-shirt. We cannot pour more from our cup than what's inside. So, as women, as men, pour in your cup first so that you have overflow to be able to pour into your loved ones.
Mm. I got a book. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Great book if you're trying to understand the opposite sex, how to communicate certain dynamics. I know some people are readers. If you look for a book, that's a great book. I highly recommend that every couple should just read, right? Because there's always room for learning and understanding.
The strongest person is the person that's always in control.
Speaking about audible recommendations, The Power of Vulnerability is a book that I would recommend to every single person because a lot of us come from backgrounds where we think of vulnerability as a weakness. We think of it as a crutch. We think of it negatively when in fact it's the opposite. Vulnerability is the embodiment. It is the true embodiment of strength because it is when you stop letting anything else affect your being. You just are. and you just allow that vulnerability to seep through. And when you are more aligned in your vulnerable self, you are a natural deterrent to who is not meant to be in your life, and you're a natural attractant to everything that is meant to be in your life.
I said this earlier. Don't hold your partner to a contract they neither seen nor signed. So communicate, 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 and be proactive with the communication. Don't wait until something happens to feel like you need to communicate things. It might be a random moment, like, I really like it, or I really would like it if, you know what I'm saying? So be careful of like those unseen and unforeseen contracts.
All right. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to look in the mirror and say, I love you. As Angie said, it's okay to apologize to yourself. It's okay. It's okay to call yourself great. It's okay to call yourself important. It's okay to cheer for yourself. It's okay to hug yourself. It's okay to love you. It's okay. So start today.
There's no manual on life. There's no manual on love, dating, relationships, parenting. There's no manual for anything, and there's not meant to be. Give yourself grace, give yourself kindness, and treat yourself in the same respect that you want all of your loved ones to treat themselves. Because the same way that it hurts when we see our loved ones hurting themselves, the same way they feel when we're doing something that is harming to ourselves. So be kind to yourself, give yourself grace. There is no right or wrong, really, except for the ones that obviously like don't harm anybody, but there's no right and wrong to moves. You have to make mistakes, you have to have fun, you have to take risks, explore life, explore everything that calls to you.
Love is not about finding your other half. That implies that you're not complete. I think we already have everything we need, which is about us remembering how great we are, remembering,
I like that.
our beauty, remembering, all our best qualities and acknowledging those things. Because when you show up complete, now you have two complete beings, and now you become stronger together. But I think there's a lot of weakness in coming in incomplete. But if you first step, acknowledge that you're complete.
That's a good one. I would say, men, I'm talking to you, and women, I guess. Find an incredible woman and make her laugh, and you and her will be laughing for the rest of your life.
Happiness is a choice. And so before stepping into a relationship, make it your choice to be happy with yourself. Don't make your happiness reliant on the other person.
Mhm.
Woo. When you find the right person, love is never a burden. What I mean by that is, men, be open and let them in on not just the good, but also the bad. When you're going through it, when you're going through those challenges, when you're frustrated, when you don't know which way is up, like those are real natural emotions. And women, I'm learning that you guys actually want to support us. They want to be nurturing, want to make sure we're okay. And sometimes we feel like that emotion, we're by us expressing it, we feel like we're creating an emotional burden on you all, when that's not really the reality. And I learned that recently, like last night, talking to somebody. I'm like, dang, I never thought about it that way. So love is never a burden. Let them in.
All right. I said this before, but I think it's very important. Your job is not to make your kids happy. Your job is to give them the tools that will make them happy, right? So your job is to provide them with the tools that they will find happiness through the tools and the life you provide for them. Your job is not to make your children happy. And this is the last round. I'll end it. Go ahead, Angie.
So you're done, you're saying, or are we
No,
going around?
one. Yeah, after. Yeah.
Last one. I just had it. Oh my goodness, I didn't switch it up. But I guess I'll just leave it with, Be patient. Some of us want things to happen instantaneously. Some of us had plans that we were brainwashed to create. In school, we were supposed to create, where do we see ourselves in 5 years, 10 years, without any real structure on how to create those plans. So some of us had these preconceived ideas of where we would be at a certain age or a specific time in our life. And when it doesn't match, we get upset, we get frustrated, we think we failed, we're not nice to ourselves. Block the noise, erase everything from your mind, unlearn everything that you've ever learned. And the only most important thing that you need to know is to follow your intuition. Follow whatever that is, that nagging thing that's calling to you, that feeling of something that you can't let it up. You've been thinking of, maybe you've been thinking about it for years, but you've never addressed it, and you're like, there's no better time than right now. And if you don't have the belief in yourself, you're doing an injustice to everyone around you, because that thing that's calling you, that's your purpose, and it's meant to be shared with the world. And by not sharing with us, you're not helping make the world a better place. So do your part and follow what calls you.
My mantra is premium only. The best option is the only option. Never settle for nothing. Never settle for anything less than the best. And when I say that, than the best, what's best for you. I think sometimes people think it's like this ever, pursuing of more, 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 more. No, it's sometimes it's just saying, hey, like, what is the best for me, right? What do I want? Don't negotiate with yourself. You deserve the best. You deserve the best partner. You deserve all the love you require. You deserve good communication. You deserve to feel good. You deserve all the success. So don't feel like, I'm not telling anybody to break up on this chat, but don't feel like you got to downgrade your vision for somebody else, right? Because there's somebody out there praying for someone like you, whether you realize it or not. So once you realize that prayer, who are you to deprive someone of your prayer, of your blessing? We all are a blessing, and we all can be a blessing to somebody. And once you take a moment to acknowledge that, life changes and everything goes off to the races. So premium only, don't negotiate with yourself.
Definitely. I would say, since we talking about books, Mortgage Before Marriage, Finances Before Fiance, Rockefeller Before Beyonce, the hottest book out right now. 5 stars across every platform. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate everyone. Um, I, I want to bring up something that's in that book. Um, it's getting out of your way. It's time. It's time. Like, let's forget about the noise from your family. Forget about the noise from your from your friends and your significant other. Let's talk about the noise in your head. The I can't do this. Oh, I don't deserve this.
Hmm.
Oh, it's not me. Oh, I'm not special. Oh, God didn't make me that way. Get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. Everyone's waiting for you to show up. It's your stage. Set your boundaries and go. Get out of your own way. We all waiting. We can't wait to clap for you. Get out of your own way. That, as Andy said, that thing you keep talking about, thinking about, but it's not happening. Get out of your own way. You know that you don't belong with that person. You know that, and I know that. You know that person's a piece of shit. You know it. Get out of your own way. You know you want to become a better parent, a better person. Get out of your own way. You know you should put your family and friends on your schedule. You know it. Get out of your own way. You deserve more money. You deserve to be a better person. Get out your own way and go do it. And when you're on your stage, everyone's like this, clapping for you. Welcome to your life. Welcome.
Exactly.
This is your show.
Well, I
Welcome.
like that
We
one.
was
Welcome to
all
your
here
own life.
waiting for you. We was all here waiting for you. Welcome. Bravo. Bravo. You are now living your truth. So get out of your own way. Um, with that being said, I would love to keep speaking with you, but I got shit to do. Christian, Angie, the world. See ya.
We out.